Hope you're ready to boost that vertical jump. Today I've got something to help you, and I'm about 5'10 and a half, 5'11, and at one point in my younger years I was actually able to put down some 360 dunks, so that should give you a reference of how much this would work. So let's jump into the first exercise, not waste any time. First thing we want to do is work on strengthening our glutes, our back, and also just working on the mobility in our legs. And so this is going to help hit on a lot of things at the same time, both strength and flexibility wise. Go down like this in a low squat with your hands behind you, and then from there all I want you to do is bring your legs really far forward, so you're trying to almost bring those knees down to the ground. Now this is going to help stretch a little bit in the feet. If you can do this stuff inside with bare feet, even better, but it's going to help strengthen that and develop the flexibility and get a good stretch in your hip flexors and your quads. From there, you're going to lift up, activating the glutes and your back muscles, okay? We're just going to do that just like this. I'd say about 10-20 reps of these, just bringing those hips up from down with your knees forward. Next thing we want to do is work on our feet and our ankles and our mobility in those. Something that's really important, you might have heard this before for your vertical jump, is what's called dorsiflexion. What dorsiflexion is your ability to take your feet and bend them back. So this would be plantar flexion like this. Dorsiflexion would be taking my foot and keeping it kind of flat to the ground and even working on bending it slightly up. So what we're going to do for this exercise is simply, I'll show you sideways so you can kind of see, bring our toes up and try to hold it for about a second, okay? Do that 10 times with the legs straight. And on the 10th one, I want you to just hold it for as long as you can. Try to keep your balance until you can't anymore. Then do that 10 times again. Take a quick break just to let your shins get a little rest, because it'll kind of work your shin muscles and your ankle. And then from there, you're gonna do the same thing 10 times, but this time with the knees bent to work on a slightly different angle. Up, about a second, 10 times. And then again on the 10th, just try to hold it for as long as you can without losing your balance. Next thing we're gonna do is we wanna work on our balance. Our hip mobility is really important to be able to explode up, and it's gonna help with both our one leg and two leg jumps by developing the balance and strength in some of the smaller muscles, by allowing us to direct our force more upward if we can get those small muscles in check. The big muscles like our glutes, it's also gonna hit on, but those small muscles often get overlooked. So all we're gonna do is kicks forward and back, but they're not really kicks, they're slow kicks. So that's what these are called, the slow kicks. I'm gonna stay on one foot, I'm gonna keep that leg straight, and I'm gonna come up, and then back. Up, working on that balance, back. It's also gonna work on stretching this hip flexor, which is a muscle that often gets tight. Being able to come upright is really helpful, but we lose that ability from all the sitting we do, and we lose some of that activation of our glutes, our butt muscle. So this is gonna work on the glute on the way back and stretch that, and then we'll also work on the strength in that hip flexor when we come forward. So I'd say do about 10 of those with one leg, 10 with the other. I tweaked the ankle in this leg, so my balance isn't the best, but this will help me kind of rehab it also. And I would do 10, and then you could take about a minute break and then repeat, do another set with each. So here, back would be 1, and repeat till I get 10 repetitions in each leg. The next exercise, as we advance, you might need a basketball, you might not, but what we want to do is work on the squat motion. The squat is very similar to when you jump, right? Come into a little bit of a squat, and you basically come out of it as quick as you can. The quicker you can get out of it, the better. But also the strength is important, because strength times speed equals power. Power equals vertical jump. So what we want to do is, if you're more of a beginner, you're a younger athlete, maybe just start with a regular squat, just coming down and then up. 2 sets of 10, take about a 30 seconds to minute break in between each set. If that's really, really easy and you want to get more strength in, the thing you would want to work up to is a pistol squat, which is basically this right here. Come down on one leg, keep this leg straight, come back up. But that might be hard if your balance isn't there and the strength in your glutes, your hips, all that stuff. So a modified version you could do is you could use a wall next to you or have a basketball, and there's a couple different things you could do. You could work on either A, just coming down slowly with one leg, and then put that heel here on the ground and use that to help yourself up. Another way you could work on it is coming down with 2 legs, then kick this leg out and come up with 1. So either going down with 1 and up 2, or the other way, going down with 2 and up 1. Then, if that starts to get a little bit easier, you can get rid of a little bit of the support and whatnot, and just maybe have a wall next to you or a basketball underneath. And all you're gonna do is keep this hand hanging down here. So as you get about halfway down, you can kind of support your body weight, your balance a little bit by using your hand on the basketball and then come up. And then as you get better, you can put less weight onto that basketball, just barely touching it, and then eventually get rid of it. For that, I would say 2 sets of 10 would be great, maybe even up to 3 sets of 10 of pistol squats. It really depends on your strength though. As you're just getting used to them, maybe just do, I'd say, like 3 sets of 4 or 5 repetitions, because they are gonna work your legs hard when you're not used to it. Okay, and then finally, getting into the plyometrics section of the workout, the first thing we're going to do is what's called a split squat jump. So we're gonna come from this position where basically right now my knee's not touching the ground. I wanna get to the point where I can touch the ground, knee to the ground. I don't wanna actually hit it on this blacktop though. I'm gonna jump up and I'm gonna switch leg positions so I come back down in a similar position. Knee close to the ground. Again, we don't wanna touch the ground, but we wanna be in a long-ish lunge position, not like doing the splits though, okay? Right about here is good. And what I want to do with this is, number 1, try to jump up as high as I can, make that leg switch in air as quick as I can, but then also focusing on getting it on and off the ground as quick as I can. And with that, I also want to focus on my arm movement. So when my left leg's forward, right arm is forward, left arm is back. So opposite, like when you're running. And then when I switch, left arm forward with right leg forward, okay? So again, I'm going to focus on getting on and off the ground quick, like the ground's made out of hot coals, but also going for height, okay? So it would look like this. And I would say to do about 10 repetitions of this. So this leg forward, that would be 1, 2. So I'd say do about 3 sets of 10. Then from there, what you're gonna do next really depends on your level of ability. So you can either do these 2 exercises, and I recommend you start with these, and then as you get better, you'll move up to the one that's a little bit advanced. So the first 2 would be tuck jumps, which is basically I'm gonna jump as high as I can. Again, I'm gonna try to get on and off the ground as quick as I can, and I'm gonna bring my knees to my chest. Well, that's the goal anyway, depends on your level of flexibility. So I'm simply going to come on and off the ground, trying to get as high as I can, but get on and off the ground as quick as I can. You do 3 sets of 10 of those. There's an advanced version that I'll give you in a second. Then I'll do 3 sets of 10 of butt kick jumps. Same thing, on and off the ground as quick as you can, kicking your butt in the air though. So, okay, same concept, we're just bringing our legs in a different position. So I would do the 3 sets of 10 of the tuck jumps, and then 3 sets of 10 of the butt kick jumps. Then from there, if you've got those down and those are feeling pretty easy or pretty fresh, what I would recommend you do is move up to cycle through jumps. And I would recommend you just do 4 sets of 10 of these. So what the cycle through is, it's gonna start, you're gonna jump, and in the beginning you're gonna do that butt kick, but then you're gonna try to drive your knee up after, and then bring your feet back down. So it's a cycle through. Butt kick into that knee raise, back down. And then again, on and off the ground as quick as you can, but also as high as you can. So that's gonna work on that power. Okay, so it would look like this. Okay, 4 sets of 10 of those. Now, if you really wanna take your athleticism next level, I've got something special for you. Click the top link in the description, I'll have it pinned to the top comment. It's 100% free, but it'll help you take that athleticism to the next level. Subscribe and turn on all notifications to catch the newest videos, and I will see you in that link next.